Dark side's calling out, loving is real. She'll never know just how I feel. From out of the shadows, she walks like a dream. Make me feel crazy, make me feel so mean. Nothing gonna save me from the love that's blind. Slip to the dark side, across the line. On the dark side, oh yeah. On the dark side, oh yeah. Dark side's calling out, loving is real. She'll never know just how I feel. From out of the shadows, she walks like a dream. Make me feel crazy, make me feel so mean. Nothing gonna save me from the love that's blind. Slip to the dark side, across the line. On the dark side, oh yeah. On the dark side, oh yeah. Nothing gonna save me from the love that's blind. Slip to the dark side, across the line. On the dark side, oh yeah. On the dark side, oh yeah. On the dark side, oh yeah. On the dark side, oh
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mysteries Explained. We have an exciting guest today, but right now we are without Dave. We're trying to get Dave in the call, and for some reason he's not. So,
It's now Mysteries Explained with Becky and Will.
yeah, so I have my husband filling in until we can figure out where Dave is. And as soon as Dave...
Hi! I think Dave's frozen in the tundra somewhere.
Yeah, I think Dave's saying that Will may have to fill in because of the fact that he can't get in. So we will see what happens. I'm telling,
It's a shining moment for Dave.
yeah, telling Dave to try again, but we'll see what happens. So welcome to Mysteries Explained with Becky and Will. Yay!
Woo!
This is not how the show needs to start today, but oh well. It is what it is.
Oh, you don't like me being on the show?
I'm not saying that.
I can leave the show.
I am not saying that at all. I'm saying technical difficulties is not the way the show needs to begin, is what I'm saying. So, but since Dave is not here, I don't need to ask about weather or safe trips or anything like that.
Oh, my trip was fine. Don't worry about asking me. It was great. The weather sucked, but the trip was great.
Well, he was traveling last week. He stopped at a hotel, so I was going to talk to him about the rest of his trip. But, yeah, he's not here to ask that to. So how was your day at work, babe?
Frozen.
Frozen.
There's a heat wave out there.
Yeah, I know. We can't complain about our weather here in Tucson. It's been cold the past couple days, but nothing compared to back east, that's for sure. But other than that, we were going to make some announcements tonight on the show. And Dave was supposed to put up a YouTube video. And if Dave ever joins in, he can just say hi and join into the conversation. But he was going to do a YouTube video about the places we investigated. Was it last week?
Yep, last week.
Okay. So last week, we can finally announce where we went. We went to the slaughterhouse. And we did a video that Dave is going to put, hopefully.
If you're
Can you all hear us? Raina, I know you're listening. I think it is because it said will. Can you guys hear us? If so, type in the chat room. Are we stuck? Okay. Okay, Raina's saying that yes, she can hear us. So yes, we are live. A lot of technical difficulties apparently today. Not good. But hopefully this is going to smooth over here in the next 20 minutes before we bring on our guest, because Grant Wilson is a huge guest for us, and I'm so excited, and hopefully nothing goes wrong once we bring him on. But we were at Slaughterhouse last week. We actually did 2 investigations there. We did Wednesday night and then Saturday night. Wednesday night, Dave was with us, and he did a video, and he's going to put that video up on YouTube. And he's going to hopefully have that done tonight. And
It's slacker.
that slacker. He sent it to me today, but he needed to add one more thing to the video before we put it on YouTube. But it is the video about Slaughterhouse. Now, our big announcement for the night, and we'll announce this later on too for people who tune in late, but we are actually working with the Slaughterhouse to bring people ghost hunts. So you are going to be able to do a ghost hunt at the Slaughterhouse starting at the middle of next month. We're working on the first hunt to be sometime around February 16th or 17th. And you'll be able to ghost hunt in there. And they're going to have a VIP experience. So you're going to have one experience where you go in for about 4 hours roughly, do the ghost hunt. And then the VIP experience, which of course is going to be more money though, you're going to be able to stay until like 2 in the morning. So that's going to be really awesome. Tucson Ghost Company is hosting with Slaughterhouse. And Slaughterhouse is going to be on Ghost Adventures this weekend. This Saturday night, Slaughterhouse is where Ghost Adventures episode is based on. So very cool, very exciting. And I don't think Dave's still here yet. I think he's having issues. But
That's nothing new. Dave always has issues.
Dave always has issues.
It started when he was a young boy.
Oh, has it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, apparently when he was a young boy, huh?
Is he listening to this? Because I hope Dave is listening to this, because I'm going to give all his dirty, dark secrets out.
Okay, I think you should.
Like that his older sister used to try and make him eat boogers.
What? Did he mention that at one of our parties or something?
Yeah, boot sniffing was not the start.
Or dress wearing, right?
Dress wearing, that was, I think he picked that up as a young child.
Well, he was raised with all kinds of sisters.
Yeah, so was I, but I never thought about putting a dress on.
Now, I don't remember the other part, though. Did Dave, admit that at a party or something? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Absolutely? Okay, I don't remember.
Kind of like peeing on each other to show dominance.
Oh, my God. That, I think I would have remembered. I do not remember that being brought up, so, no.
That's all right. Dave will have plenty of to rebut when he gets on.
Yes, if he gets on, because I have no clue where Dave went. He shows that he's in this call, but I have no clue. Dave is missing in action, ladies and gentlemen. We have no clue where Dave is. Oh, we do? Where is he?
Freezing his ass off.
Freezing his ass off. That's true. I know that he's back in Maryland and he's freezing his butt off, but we don't know where he is when it comes to the broadcast.
Oh, he'll just have to put some pantyhose on with a longer dress.
Oh my! Wow, Dave, you better get on here fast because Will's just saying all kinds of lovely things about you.
You're going to have a lot of explaining to do when you get back on the radio show.
Yes, everyone's gonna wonder where you went, what's going on, and all those lovely things. So apparently I need to find a different connection for Dave. So everyone bear with me. Will, you need to talk.
What am I going to talk about? Oh, 2 o'clock? Yeah, until 2 o'clock in the morning for some of these things?
Yes,
I'll
2 o'clock in the morning.
I need to bring a pillow.
So
So what time are we bringing Grant on?
we're bringing Grant on at 6:30, and we're trying to get all these issues solved before we bring him on. I have to try to add people to this call now.
Yeah, because I know Dave doesn't want me to keep talking about him.
Well, I need you to keep talking while I try to find him.
I already know where he's at. He's the one lost.
DL. What am I missing?
Or what?
Oh. I'm like, what am I missing? I'm missing a letter in his name.
Yeah.
Dave gonna be there.
That's going to be a lost cause.
Dave.
Hello. Oh, Davey boy. Who sings that song?
I have no clue.
No.
I am thinking we are doing a show without Dave tonight.
His loss.
This is not cool, Dave. I don't know where you're at, but I keep trying to ask. It's not working. You're being told you have to bring hot cocoa and marshmallows for the 2 a.m.
Oh, no. We don't do hot cocoa and marshmallows. No. This ain't some fluffy foo-foo investigation. You want something hot to drink, you bring some whiskey.
Yeah, apparently Dave is not here. Dave is missing in action.
His loss.
Dave went through a portal. He says he hears absolutely nothing, so I have no clue.
That means he needs to turn his sound on.
Yeah, turn on your sound. If he's not hearing us, we can't tell him that.
That's all right. He'll never know.
All right. So, yeah. I think we're going on without Dave tonight. Are you ready to do this? Yeah, I know, but we haven't been very, we've been trying to do get Dave involved, and I don't think that's so.
Oh, it's like this.
Lovely. All right, so tonight we do have Grant Wilson. We'll be bringing him on in about 15 minutes. As I was saying, we are going to start next month, which is February, of either the 16th or the 17th. We need to finalize the date. We will be ghost hunts with Slaughterhouse, and hopefully Dave is able to find his way out of his portal, wherever he may be, and get that YouTube video up tonight on Slaughterhouse. We'll have more information on that coming up. Check out our Facebook pages, website, all that for where you're going to buy the tickets, because that will be posted here soon once we get a date finalized. So TucsonGhostTour.com. Our Facebook page is Mysteries Explained. We also have Tucson Ghost Company on Facebook and Tucson Ghost Society on Facebook. And announcements will be posted about where to find out about Slaughterhouse. We also have our tours at Tucson Ghost Company. They are up and running again, too. We took a little bit of a break over Christmas, but now all those tours are back up and going, so we're doing really, really well. With the new year, lots of great news, lots of new opportunities, getting into some new places, got the book starting to go, and all those lovely things. It's going to be a very exciting time. So, Will, you need to talk more to be a co-host.
I'm sorry.
Nobody wants to hear about what you have in your foot, honey.
Well, you get it out for me. It's driving me crazy.
Wow, this is going to be interesting night.
I'm trying to multitask here. This ain't working too good.
Alrighty, I have no clue what's going to happen tonight, so this is going to be very, very interesting. The sad part is I have been wanting Grant on the show since I started doing radio. And of course, all this weird stuff has to happen on the night that I bring in Grant. Raina wants to know what is wrong with your foot.
Well, if you want to come get this fucking splinter out of my foot, you're more than welcome to, because it's in there pretty deep.
Oh my goodness. Alrighty. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Splinter in the foot. See, it's showing that I have Dave on here twice, which is really sad.
Well, hang up on him.
I can't because then I hang up on the whole call.
Oh.
And if I hang up on the whole call, then we disconnect.
Dave, hang up.
Dave did hang up, and he signed back in a different thing, and he's still not showing up, unfortunately. So, oh, you're getting sympathy for your splitter in your foot.
Oh, nice. Finally, for once in my life, I get sympathy.
Oh, poor Will. All right, so we are going to have Grant on tonight. And for those who don't know who he is,
Who is he?
he was on Ghost Hunters.
Wasn't that a show on TV?
Yes, that was a show on TV. And part of the TAPS team. The whole reason I got into this whole paranormal stuff was because of Ghost Hunters. And
I thought it was because you.
thanks, love you too. You all feel the love here between Will and I. Alrighty then. So I have a task of apparently keeping this show going because Will does not talk.
Oh, I talk. I'm just preoccupied right now with this freaking splinter.
And trying to get Dave in here and keeping an eye for when Grant gets online. So I'm multitasking here. So bear with me because of the fact that I got 10,000 things going on.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, people have questions for Grant, not for us.
Nobody's got a question for me?
Yeah, nobody wants to know about that splinter. See, this is Mysteries Explained. The mystery is, why do we talk about your splinters? And we're explaining absolutely nothing. Right.
You know, there's questions like, why do I put up with you?
No, that is not a question.
Well, Raina wants to give me a switchblade.
Yeah, so we can cut your foot, apparently.
Okay. Get on it.
Oh, it's going to be a crazy night. I can tell you already. Crazy, crazy night. But it's been a crazy week in general. We have been trying to get the EVPs done from Slaughterhouse so we would have evidence for everyone. And we've been doing company taxes and contracts. I had to do contracts for clients and contracts for
Slaughterhouse.
the book and Slaughterhouse. And it's just been nonstop this week. It's been crazy, crazy, crazy. So, Mayla wants to know, Will, are you excited for Eureka?
No. Too much estrogen is going to be in that car.
For those of you listening that do not know what we're talking about, Eureka, Nevada is holding a Paracon in June, and Will and I are asked to be guest speakers there. So we have parts of Tucson Ghost Society traveling with us up to Eureka, which is about an 11-hour drive. Now, Tucson Ghost Society is basically all women because Dave's in Maryland and Will's the only other male. So we're going to have a car of about roughly 5 women going up to Eureka, and Will is driving the 11 hours with all those women. So
Little do they know that I will be spiking all of their drinks with shit to knock them out.
that is so not nice.
It will be a nice, quiet, peaceful drive.
That is not right. So not right. But yeah, so that's in June though. And in fact, next week we have 2 guests on our show that are also going to be in Eureka with us. Jeff and Todd, Lindsay from where I got Grant from, is also setting us up with them next week, and they're going to be in Eureka. So we'll get to talk to them before actually meeting them in Eureka. So that's going to be good.
Nice.
Yeah. So those are our guests for next week. I would have to look up the last names again. I am the worst with last names anyway. Really don't want to do that. Oh my God. Dave is being a pain in the ass. Hold on, folks. You need to bear with me because now Dave is saying I need to add him under a different name.
Oh, so he's changing his names now? What's he going incognito as this time?
I have no clue.
Not a cross-dressing woman, right?
I don't know. Wait, I didn't want that. Holy crap. Dave is just having all kinds of issues, and he is not helping me at all tonight.
That's what happens when you're just naturally born with issues.
There's like 4 David Clarks.
I'll bring them all on.
I'm like, there are 4 of them.
They're probably all him, so one of them's got to work.
I'm like, I have no clue. There are 4. I'm letting him know there are too many.
One's more than enough.
Hey, I know. This is sad. This is really sad. That he is like, there are a ton of them. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wait, what? Dave says, hey, you, right there.
No, that's the other one.
Oh, that one doesn't work?
No, I tried that one. And that one is the one that didn't work. So I'm telling him that he needs to contact me because there's way too many names.
He's got to get some.
I don't know.
I hear something.
I don't know. You check on that while I try to fix
Vinegar. Makes her.
Oh, that's lovely to know.
Mayla doesn't want anybody to live with freaks on town. There's no fun in that. It's a boring drive anyways. You guys aren't going to mind.
It's a boring. Yeah, it is a boring drive
I'm
to
doing
Eureka.
y'all a favor.
It is a very boring drive to Eureka. Oh my gosh, I am trying to get everything situated, guys. This is so not good. I did not want this tonight on the show. This was supposed to go very smoothly.
It is going smoothly. Freaking out.
I'm going, well, yes, I'm freaking out. I got Grant Wilson coming on.
What's that got to do with
The tea in China.
Oh.
Has nothing to do with tea in China.
why are you freaking out then?
Like it has nothing to do with tea in China. I have no clue what you're talking about, and I don't know what happened to Dave. He's making all these freaking accounts,
And all he's got to do is turn the volume on his laptop.
yeah,
Just hit unmute.
unmute. Now he's saying that he's not showing polls. I know, huh? I'm like, I have no clue what is going on with Dave. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. But the show will go on, and we will do what we need to do, and we will do it professionally.
Speak
And
for
hey,
yourself.
there we go. Dave's in the chat room at least. So he can hear us through the show apparently, but he cannot do Skype apparently tonight. So Dave, you're going to have to keep the chat room alive with questions then because of the fact that you can't get in Skype for whatever crazy reason that is. Because it's not, there's like 10,000 Dave Clarks. Clarks.
Dave, she's getting ready to call you a clog.
Dave, I can't add you when I type in your name because there's a ton of David Clarks. So I don't know what to do for you. I don't need a reboot. The problem is on Dave's end. And if I reboot, the whole show goes bye-bye. So that's not a good thing.
So Dave, reboot.
Dave was the one that had problems to begin with. So, and I'm trying to keep an eye on Grant coming in. You got the chat room up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this way I can see when Grant gets online. Contact him. To this crazy show that we're having already. So, yay, craziness. But yes, so Dave is trying. Dave, at any point in time, if you can get into Skype, just say hi and that you're here, and we will go
He's
from
right
there.
See, so
Well,
right there.
in Skype, not in chat.
It's close enough.
Close enough. When Dave can ever connect to Skype, which apparently it's giving him issues tonight.
I don't think it's getting worse. I think he's just got an issue.
He has an issue.
He says it's connected to the call.
If it shows that you're connected to the call, then Dave might be with us.
Speak up, Dave.
Try talking. See if we can at least hear you.
Turn your microphone on.
Do something. Oh my gosh. I have no clue what's going on, but yay for the insanity. So, all right. I don't know what we're doing. And
We got anything going on?
do we have anything going on? We got our tours going on. We got a Tucson Ghost Experience. The first one, I think, is Monday of the year. And then we have first driving tour next Saturday. No, next Saturday we have investigation.
We have a drive for the first Monday of the year.
No, next Monday or this coming Monday, we have our first Ghost Experience.
Oh.
Yes, Tucson Ghost Experience is always on Monday nights, and this Monday is our first. And then this Saturday and next Saturday, we have investigations. Yes, not just that. Following Saturday, I believe it is, we have first driving. So we have a busy calendar. And then on Sunday, we get to see dinosaurs. I know that has nothing to do with the paranormal. We get to see dinosaurs on Sunday. No, Saturday, we have the investigation. So Sunday, we're going to go see dinosaurs with the family. Live dinosaurs.
Going back.
Yes, for time travel. Go see live dinosaurs. But it's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. It's the Jurassic Quest. So they
And then I'll take the kids back home.
oh, so they're not going to. The only dinosaur they're going to see is the one that eats mom, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's lovely. That is so lovely. How can you tell if someone's online? Because I'm supposed to be bringing in Grant. I guess I can just try to bring him in and see if he's there. I guess. I don't know what we're doing. This is so confusing today. So I'm just going to add people to the call and see if this works. Let's hope it works. And the only problem with this is I can never see people actually get on.
How good does it?
So if Grant Wilson comes on, he just says hi. Because I can't see.
Well, Grant, if you're there, hi.
I have no clue. I cannot see who's in the call. That's sad.
Apparently Dave checked out.
I have no clue. Dave's not here.
Yeah, checked out. Mentally exhausted.
Called 40 times. I had no phone to answer. I don't know.
I didn't think people had it.
I don't know. And I can't tell who's on the Skype. Who's on the Skype. Hello? Hello? Alrighty, well, I have no clue. Hopefully everyone chimes in here soon, because I don't know what's going on.
So, since we already did Slaughterhouse, we mentioned it on air. It's
Right.
already public. So anything good happen?
Did anything good happen for what?
Slaughterhouse.
For Slaughterhouse?
Yeah.
We got some really good EVPs. We know that we heard a male's voice and a female's voice at Slaughterhouse. And then we know that it sounds like there's a prankster. So apparently I'm being told that everything keeps going in and out. So apparently there's a bad connection right now.
Well, that's not good.
No, that's not good. And apparently I don't know where Grant's at. Okay, so should I restart? Okay, well, Dave is just showing that he's in the room, but he's not able to talk. So should I end this call and call back? Okay, everyone bear with us. We're going to have to end this call and try back because of Skype. Okay, let's try this again because I don't know what's going on, and I'll try to add Dave one more time. And I don't think Grant's on yet. I haven't heard anything. Now Dave's not even showing in my contacts. Are we still on Mysteries Explained Live? Okay. Hi, everyone. Sorry about these technical problems right now. We are trying to solve them, and I'm trying to get Grant on. We are also still trying to get Dave on. But for some reason, Dave is not showing up in my Skype anymore. Dave, where did you go? I'm not seeing Dave at all. So bear with us. We are trying. It's not showing Dave online right now either.
Well, he was just on there.
Okay, well, it's not showing Dave. I'm trying to... Dave, what are you under? Are you still on Skype? Because I know you can hear us. And if so, let us know what you're on under Skype. I'm going to see if maybe Grant's available yet and bring on Grant. Let's see. Why is this not working? All right, let's try Grant again.
Still there?
I don't know. Can anyone hear us?
Can anybody hear us? All right. You just got really quiet.
Yeah, I have no clue what's going on because I don't know if it's on my end. Okay, well, we're being able to be heard. I just don't know why people aren't being connected to the program. So
Can Dave call in?
I don't know. He can try.
Try calling in, Dave.
And I don't think Grant's online yet. Maybe that's the issue. Everyone, we apologize. We're having some major issues right now. So we're trying this out. We're trying to see what's going on. Yeah, it keeps saying, I'm getting notices that we keep going in and out. Dave, if you can get on and connect with Stan, maybe I should restart my computer. I don't know.
Miranda says it's good on her end.
All right, so some people can hear us, some people can't. I don't know what's going on. We're waiting for Grant to join in because Grant's not there yet. I'm asking where Grant's at. So we'll just kind of talk.
Well, that's going to go far.
That's going to go far.
Jeez, you have high expectations.
Yes, I'm expecting you to talk.
Well, I did. You happy now?
And we're just kind of going to sit back and wait until everyone joins us. So there we go.
Which number does he call for us?
The Tucson Ghost CO on Skype. And it sounds really bad because I can hear us, like the relay of us.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I can hear us. How funny. All right. So this is not cool.
I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I should just leave the room and everything will get better.
Yeah, and then if it doesn't, I'm talking to myself.
You do that anyways.
Hey, now.
373 number.
No, you don't call a phone number. You have to use Skype. Well, you can call in and we can play you on speakerphone. I guess you can call my home phone and do that. We can put you on speaker. about that.
Which works great for Spreaker.
For Spreaker. Speaker and Spreaker. But the problem is we're still not getting a hold of Grant, though. Grant has disappeared on us.
Was he ever there?
No, he hasn't been here yet. Not that I've seen. But yeah, just call my home phone, Dave. I'm not going to give out the number online or on the radio. You know it.
That's what he's asking.
That's the business number.
Phone.
Okay. I see that, but...
He said answer.
Answer? Nothing's ringing. Don't call through Skype. Just call me on my regular phone, Dave. You know what it probably is? Oh, I heard something just happen.
Who's there?
You know what's probably going on? Is Grant's probably listening to the show saying...
These people are crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not getting on that
this.
show.
Yep.
They're freaking loony.
Oh, there's David. David. Okay.
Call him.
I'm trying. I gotta move this. Okay, I have no clue what just happened there. Dave, just call me on my home phone. Because I don't know what just happened.
Somebody did.
That's
Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on. I think Skype is having issues. Is that what it is? All right. So we're having issues with Skype, apparently. But what I don't understand is I was able to call you with no problems at all. So I know that my Skype is working. All right. Okay. Everyone, I'm talking to the producer. Can they hear you too, Stan, or no? No? Okay. So you don't think I'm talking to myself. I am talking to the producer of the show right now. We're trying to figure this out. We're going to have Will turn on the computer, but I don't think it's us at all. I think it's Dave, and I don't know where Grant's at. I think those are the two issues. So, Dave, call my cell phone. My actual cell phone. Get off of Skype.
Yeah, don't be a putz, man. Just call, okay?
Right. Okay. So stop calling Skype, Dave, and call my cell phone. And you just gave out your phone number to everyone in the world, Dave.
Nice! Prank calls! Call! Prank calls! Get them going now. Number's hot. It's fresh. Do it.
He just put his phone number for the whole world to see. Good going there, Dave. Now everyone can call you. Oh my goodness. So as long as Dave doesn't call the Skype doesn't cut in and out. So Dave, stop trying Skype. Just call myself. There we go. Dave.
hey, what's up?
Okay, we got him on the cell phone. I'm trying to get it as close to the computer as possible so you can all hear Dave. Can you hear Dave? Say hi.
said hi.
Can you all hear Dave at all?
I'm just kidding.
Hi, Dave. How you doing?
How you doing today?
Great, love.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
What a cheerio day it is. Are you freezing your ass off over there?
No, it was actually like almost 60 today.
Almost 60. I think you were warmer than us.
Yeah, the snow is melting, and tomorrow's going to be like 2 or 3.
Are you starving?
Yeah, right?
Go to school. Oh my goodness. Hey Stan, why is it that I can hear our show in a relay? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was like, I can hear myself. We're just having all kinds of fun.
I have no issue. I mean, I have no idea what the issue is, Skype. I've never had this problem at all.
Yeah, I'm not showing Grant
Nothing.
as being on, and I don't know. I don't know what is going on. Hey, Will, can you get on my Facebook and see if I'm getting any answers? So, I guess you and I and Will are just kind of running the show right now. Hopefully, people can hear you.
Which Facebook?
The one you always check on to see if I've been answered. That's what I want to
Yeah,
keep an eye on.
this is like a nightmare.
Yes, it is a nightmare. That's why I was saying, Dave, I was saying that Grant was probably listening and saying, screw this, I'm not going on with those people.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably thinking, those idiots. Yeah, who set me up with these? Yeah, Yeah.
We're usually not this bad, I promise, Grant, I promise.
Right, I know. It just, I don't know what it is, man.
And technical
We've had
difficulties
issues.
happen.
Yeah, and we've had issues with Skype before and phone calls and stuff back and forth every now and then, but it's out of nowhere. I mean, everything was fine. Last time I used it, and it opened up fine for me, and then I knew you were trying to call me. I could see you trying to call me, but the little thing, the little answer circle with the little phone never came up, and then it went away. And I never heard like the phone ringing. I just heard like these weird clicking sounds, like a dolphin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you're
Like a dolphin? Ooh, I like dolphins.
Calling me. And then and then I was like trying to call you, and I was calling you and calling you and calling you, and then I guess you couldn't hear like I guess nothing because just a few months ago I was calling you and you had no clue, and I'm like,
Well,
oh my god.
anytime you called me, it would cut off my Skype, though. So anytime you would call in, my Skype would act up.
Oh, it's causing all kinds of problems today.
I know, aren't you?
I should have gone more places today.
And then I added Grant to this call, but he hasn't chimed in, and I haven't seen him online, so I have no clue what is going on. I don't think he's on. I haven't seen him.
I honestly don't think it's just me though. I mean, Grant's not even on, so
Yeah.
I mean, especially if it shows him on, because it shows me connected. But then when I tried to, I cut it off, and now it keeps me signed in. It didn't. Password. So I couldn't remember my stupid password. I kept asking myself, and I couldn't do it. So I guess I had signed up before with another one a long time ago. So I was able to sign in with that one, but it shows me connected with my other icon for the show. I'm like, oh, I'm done. Because you have to send me that little request and I have to accept it or something again. I don't know.
All right.
But
Well, I'm
it's
trying
just
to figure out where everyone's at and what's going on. I just sent Grant a message, and I'm not getting a response, so I don't think he's actually on. And I double-checked. Will, can I please have the phone?
What?
I need to see the thing. I can't with my phone.
I know. I've been keeping an eye on it.
I know, but I need to make sure I got this right. Yeah, I'm just making sure that I had it right. Hold on. Yeah, I have his Skype right, so for whatever reason he's unavailable. I'm not really sure. But we got you this way, Dave, so
Yeah. I don't know. It's just dumb. And I think what I'm going to do after this is, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if Skype is working again magically, in a day or two.
in a day or two.
But I mean, that's,
Yes.
and first, and I double checked just to see if I did have my sound up. When you said being that stupid, I'm going to hear myself. Okay. I knew it was, because I could hear, when you would try and call me, I would hear the other noises, but it just wouldn't connect. And it never gave me the option to answer your call.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know. This is stupid. And then so I restarted it, and then once I restarted, it tried to make me sign back in. Because I'm always signed in, and I'm like, oh no.
So basically, hey, your Skype.
There is no Skype. Internet bill, but not Skype.
Come on. Ours is fine. It means we paid ours, not paid his.
Did you not pay your Skype bill, Dave?
My balance is always zero. Well, see, Dan, that's the thing. When I tried to call you via Skype before, it was ringing, and I thought, well, let me call the other number, but you have to have an account. You have to have money in your account to never do that. So I couldn't do that either. So I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, in order to actually call a number, you have to have money in the account.
Yeah.
Because I've had guests saying that, it would be easier for them to do that. And I'm like, you can't call, you actually have to have a Skype.
And that would probably be a nightmare, even if I had to do that for some reason.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We may end up rescheduling.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. Let me see. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, I was so stupid. I was looking for my phone. I was just looking for my phone.
Your phone's up to your ear, Dave.
It is. It's in my hand. And yeah, I know. But I'm just talking on the phone. So I went for it to look at something. Now I'm going to look at it in the first place. So it does run time.
You were going to look at the time, which it's going on 7 o'clock here. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So 9 o'clock Eastern. So I'm thinking that for whatever reason, I don't know what happened, but usually if we have a guest through Lindsay and we don't connect with them, she's contacting us going, what's happening? So I have a feeling something happened tonight, maybe some type of emergency or something. And maybe that's why Grant's not on.
Hopefully not. I hope not.
Oh yeah, I hope not either, but.
I hope it's just something stupid with Skype on there and too, because it can't just be.
I don't
It just
know.
can't be.
Maybe Skype's being stupid. Who knows?
Nope. I won't let it happen.
Well, did you finish the video of Slaughterhouse?
I've got it done. Actually, I guess I can upload it right now. I'm
Oh,
not doing it myself.
you're like, I'm not doing anything else.
I'm not
Might as
doing
well.
anything else right now. Yeah, I can do that. Let me put another thing and I'll get it uploaded.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it done. That's pretty cool for the length of time that we were there. I mean, and everything except for one part was actually, because there's no real video stuff there. It's just the audio, the video with the audio. So I put it in there. But all the audio was straight off the camera, except for one piece didn't go through very well. You could barely hear it on the camera
That's cool. Should we admit you're mistakable?
Oh, I'm sure he should have figured it out by now.
Will said Jimmy John's,
Jimmy Jones,
and it wasn't.
freakishly fast.
Well, I can fix it. What was it before I upload it?
Well, no, he said it was Jimmy John's instead of Farmer John's. So that was on Will's behalf.
Well, yeah. Well, I can. Oh, I guess I can't really. Well, what I could. Let me see.
Just cut that out.
I can.
or do a voiceover.
Do a
Well, that's what I was
voiceover.
thinking. That's going to sound really weird. It's going to be your voice, and it's going to be my voice. They're two totally different voices. Yours is deeper, behind stuff like a cartoon character or something.
We could call it a possession at the time.
Yeah, right?
Will got possessed. Yeah, but he said that it was Jimmy John's instead of Farmer John's. I noticed that when I was playing the video.
Well, let's see. What I could do is put on there, oops, it's like a little word bubble or something. Oops, I meant to say Farmer John's. Or just cut that one part out where we said that. You know what I mean? Just splice it right there. Just take it out, and it'll be like it never happened.
I would just voice it over with Farmer John's.
Well, I'm gonna have to tone like this right here.
or you could do it.
Farmer John.
Or you could do it just like that, Farmer Jones. Don't you know?
Like Farmer John.
We got your
I think that's
sausage
the best way to
links.
do it right there. I'll tell you what. I'll do it.
You do it.
I'm scared.
Get that done.
I think that would be worse.
Get her done.
Oh, man.
You know, you ought to do that.
Let me see. That's going to sound really weird. It would be, I guess it would be easier just to cut the whole thing. I think just that one part. It's only like a second.
Right. Well, if you can manage to do that,
I can do it.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, well, we got Grant coming.
Hold on.
Here, yours.
Hold this. All right, maybe now. All right, we're trying to get Grant. Oh, shoot. I think I might have to hang up and re-add him. I don't know how to re-add someone that I already have to the call.
That could be some issues.
All right, hold on. We're going to have to try this again. Oh, shit. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I was trying to get Grant on and I disconnected you.
No, that.
All right, let's try this again. Let's see if we can get Grant on.
Hello.
Hey!
Hi, Grant. How are you?
Guys. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. We've been having issues too, so it's not just you.
Oh, okay. Good.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, how are you?
Doing good, thank you. We have to do Dave via phone on my speaker, and I have my husband Will kind of co-hosting too, so it's kind of weird tonight, but
It's been interesting to say the least.
We'll get through it. Or, if it's better to try it again another time, that's fine.
it's just been one of those nights apparently, and apparently you had some issues too with your internet, so.
Yeah. So this is crazy. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
Hey, I've never been on the show before. I have.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, you have issues. I've done enough of these where you have some issues, but good grief.
It's all good. It's all good. We're all here. Dave's here via phone, and
Of course, I'm here stuck in the middle of it all.
No worries. No worries. It's not going to stop us.
No, we'll just carry forward with it.
we got it. We're good to go. I think you just made everyone's night, though, by just saying hi. Everyone's like thrilled right now. So
That's easy. That wasn't hard. Okay, good.
yeah, you're good to go. You said hi to everyone. Everyone's happy. You're
All right.
free for that.
Show's over.
All right, have a good night, guys. Ay, ay, ay. How the heck have you guys been?
Oh, we're doing good. How are you doing, Grant?
Great. It's been a chaotic month. Well, I guess that makes it a chaotic year so far. But things are good. Got a lot of cool stuff going on. So
Yeah, we hear you have an event coming up.
yes, yeah. Lindsay's the Center Stage events is their first real event as a company, but they've done many before, and really, really excited about it. Get to go back to the USS North Carolina with a very small group. That's one of the benefits of the events they do right now is they're small but high quality. Yeah.
Keeps it more intimate.
Yeah, and they're not shady. Like they're just really good. I worked with some people before, and you show up, and it's like, okay, like it feels like kind of like you're camping or something, which isn't bad. I like to camp, but it's like, come on, these people pay a lot of money and make a lot of sacrifice. Try and make it nice, and that's why I like Center Stage events, and I like Amy's Strange Escapes events. They're all fantastic.
Right. Yeah, I know we've had Lindsay on the show before. She's a great gal, so we love her.
She's an alien. We all know. So.
Isn't that
Yeah.
the one that I filled in for?
No.
When we started talking about aliens?
Oh, maybe. Probably was talking about aliens with her.
Yeah, that conversation went way off course.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic, and she's super talented at what she does. Yeah, she's
And
great.
So, Grant, I have to tell you, I am beyond thrilled to talk to you tonight.
Oh, likewise.
Oh, you really do not have any clue how thrilled she is to talk to you.
Well, I'm glad. Hope I don't let you down.
You are one of her biggest inspirations.
Yes.
What? Really?
Yes.
Yeah. My husband should know.
Wow. Well, that's nice
have
to
a
hear.
lot to live up to. No.
I don't
No
know what to do with that. Yeah, right. What do I do now?
No, as everyone in the world pretty much knows, I've had experiences my whole life, and I didn't think that I could talk about them because I
Sure.
would be called, crazy or what have you. And my husband and I were flipping channels one night, and we saw the show Ghost Hunters, and we started watching. And because of that show, I started on my own quest, and because of that, I ended up with Everything I'm Doing Now, which is a radio show. I have my own paranormal study based on what you guys did. I am writing my very first novel dealing with the haunted history here in Tucson. So
Wow.
if it wasn't for Ghost Hunters, I wouldn't have been doing any of this.
I'm sorry. It sounds like we made you busy.
But in a good way, and I love
Right.
it.
Right. You were able to embrace a passion, or we helped light that spark. And that makes me so happy because I just get, I got into the paranormal to try to answer some of my own questions and to help people. I realized there are a lot of people that needed help and couldn't get it. And, through the show and through things like my music and board games and stuff, I find that I'm able to help so many more people, and I don't like, I'm not even there for it, So like I spend an evening, I spend like 2 weeks filming a TV show, an episode, and to this day, what I did once is affecting people. It's a beautiful thing. It means a lot to me to hear that, that I can help other people very easily. You know what I mean?
Right.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, and you did, and you were always, my favorite on the show because of the fact that you really did seem to have that compassion for people and wanting to help people, and the whole team did, but I don't know, it was just with you that I felt that connection, and
Wow.
I really just took from what you guys did and started making it what I do.
That's great because I stopped watching season 2. It's just too weird for me to watch. And I catch an episode here and there, if the internet was in an uproar, and I'd set it straight. But it's nice to know that's how I came across, because that's how I truly feel. It's all about helping people. There's a big difference between paranormal investigators and ghost hunters. One isn't better than the other; they're just different. Ghost hunters are out there trying to catch evidence, trying to experiment, and trying to have their own experience. Where paranormal investigation is more about, your goal has to be helping people. If your goal is to find a ghost, you're going to burn out and eventually start to fool yourself, And so if you make your goal helping people, you're equally satisfied no matter what the answer is, if you're looking for the truth, So if it's bad plumbing or if it's, Satan, you're fine, either way, it doesn't matter, as long as you can have some answers or at least a direction to help people with.
Right. Now, did you ever think that your show would get the attention that it did?
No. In fact, we turned it down 5 times. It was supposed to be we did an article for the New York Times, and the team disproved everything on that investigation that the reporter came with us on. And so he was super impressed with that and wrote what was supposed to be a Halloween fluff piece, was a pretty serious article. And it went across the wire to 140 something newspapers, and it went crazy. We got all these calls the next day of people wanting us to do shows and fly to California. And we're plumbers. I'm like, I can't fly to California. You come to me if you're that interested. But we had a gentleman in New York who actually lived in Connecticut, and he was going to meet us halfway, and he was going to buy us dinner. And we're like, okay, free dinner, let's go. And so we makes you sound pretty. Yeah, right. Come on. What could go wrong? And we talked to him on the phone. He was a cool guy. So he wasn't that kind of car salesman Hollywood guy. He was a down to earth guy. And so we talked to him, and the concept was that they were going to do a drama. There were going to be actors that would portray Jay and I, and we would draw from our case files and our continuing case files to do the show. And so we're like, I'm fine with that. It keeps my privacy. You know what I mean? We can enhance the feel. And so we went to New York one day and talked to a few networks and production companies, and they all loved the idea, but they all said the same thing. It has to be real, and no one's going to care. And we were just like, oh no, what have we done? And the gentleman who was helping us, Jody Hotchkiss, he said, look, guys, by that time we'd been through a lot. He said, I know how much you love this field, and the ideas out there. If you don't do it, someone else will. And how are they going to represent the field you love? And we're like, crap. Fine. We'll throw our privacy away and we'll do 10 episodes and be done.
That went on
200 plus episodes. And here we are now. And I'm glad. We had to fight at the beginning to maintain what we were doing, because everyone wanted us to be, crystals and wanted us to jump at everything. And we were like, you don't understand. We're not looking for ghosts. We're trying to, we are, but we're trying to disprove everything we see. 80% of it we can disprove. We're trying to find real stuff. And they couldn't register with their brain. They just didn't understand that. And we just had talk after talk, and we would just put our foot down and wouldn't film and wouldn't do this. And it's not that they were jerks. They didn't understand how that was going to produce a better show, than trying to hoping that every episode you catch an entity. In fact, when we sat down to talk about the contract with Pilgrim Films, who makes Ghost Hunters, we flat out said, look, we absolutely cannot guarantee that we'll even catch a ghost at all during these 10 episodes at the time or ever. And if you're going to spend your millions or whatever to make this show expecting us to find a ghost, then we'll just leave right now because we can't. And we're not going to have that pressure on us. And he said, no. Craig Pelagian said, no, we think you're interesting enough. What you do is interesting enough that if you never find a ghost, it is still a good show. And we said, fine. And we signed the paper. And in the contract, we had it so that if anyone even suggested that we fake anything or try to produce anything, that we had the ability to fire them on the spot, no matter what their position. And one time during the show, there was a guy, really nice guy, but he was just breaking into the director position. And he had a different idea of how it was going to go. And so we were on a case and we weren't getting anything, which is normal. For us, it's 80% of pretty much what we encounter. And Steve and Dave were out in the woods, looking for activity in the woods, and he threw a rock to get a reaction out of them. And our camera guy saw it, and our sound guy saw it, and they came right to us and said, hey, this new guy just did this. And so we went right over to him, and we said, you on probation, you're not allowed outside the vehicle on location for a month until we figure out if we're going to fire you or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so we did that. He was allowed to come in and do the tours and all that stuff, but he had to have someone with him at all times, and we stuck him. And he's the director. He's the main guy out on the road. And we said, no, I'm sorry. And we eventually let him go. So just didn't want. We were like, why are we wasting our time here? Like, let's just get rid of him and get someone else. But it was tough because he was a very good guy, and he was truly sorry, and he figured it out. But oh well.
Yeah. And see, that's what I loved about, the show Ghost Hunters, was that you guys were so honest about everything. And I loved that you went to try to find reasons behind everything and wasn't calling everything a ghost. And that's what we do. That's what my team does. And that's what we base things on. And my husband, Will, here, he's the perfect debunker on things. He loves to find the noises on everything because he's like the mechanic and the repairman and things like that. So he knows what causes certain noises.
Yeah, and that's awesome to hear because that's exactly we want people to investigate their own way, but there are some baseline things or mentalities that should be across the board, and that's one of them. I mean, you want to have something real to work with, and when we would hire people, I was over training for most of the time with Tabs, and when we wouldn't really hire, but when we would have people join the group, we weren't looking. People would come and they'd have their goth makeup on, or they'd be in trench coat. Nothing wrong with the trench coat, but you know what I mean.
Right.
And with a briefcase full of skulls and things like that. And it's like, come on. I didn't want people who had read every book, or people who, were doing trancy stuff. Like, I didn't want people who were passionate about ghosts. I wanted HVAC guys, I wanted plumbers. I wanted police officers, detectives, doctors, we wanted people like that with real world knowledge. Because if you already think you know everything about ghosts, I have to try to unlearn. You have to unlearn that because we did things so differently. We wanted people with real world knowledge so we could fill our quiver with disproving arrows and get to the bottom of stuff. We weren't trying to go out and spook each other out and try to convince each other that it's real. I mean, I know it's real. I had very intense experiences ever since I was 15. Like, I don't need to have an experience. I need to comfort these people. In order to do that, I need knowledge. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we're being asked, I guess everyone's, huge fans of yours, of course, and so they've always been following you. But they're bringing up that they remember something about they believe it was a bar that tried to set you guys up and fake things, or a family or something.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more to that story. This was Moss Beach Distillery, I think. Yeah, in California. When we went in there, we went in there and we did the tour. And as we were kind of taking the tour, there was this vague recollection of the thought of a rumor about a place that, had trickery going on. But it was just kind of a gag thing and was somewhat known, but it wasn't sure if it was real or not. And so that was just kind of bouncing around in the back of our heads. And after the tour, we're like, is this that place? But the guy the guy who gave us the tour was like the head chef. He wasn't the owner or anything. And he didn't mention anything. And we said, is anything rigged or anything here? Is anything not working that you know of? And he's like, well, not that I know of. And he's kind of weird about it. And so we're doing the case and we find everything and we fix it. And half the gags were broken, so we fixed them. We're like, we'll get this place haunted eventually, we'll get there. But come to find out, on the way to the reveal, because so much of it was fake, Jay was not happy and not excited for the reveal. And I remember him looking at me from the driver's seat, because apparently I don't ever drive. But and he goes, hey, G, who I said, you're going to have to do the talking on this one. I go, that's my Jay impression. And we go there and we talked and stuff. And it was weird because when you're watching the show, you don't really know who this guy is. And then when he's doing the reveal, he's got this kind of smirk on his face. And everyone was just so mad at him. And I had to watch the episode to see why. And I was like, okay, yeah, he looks like he's guilty the whole time. Come to find out, like I said, he was the head chef. And the owner had told him specifically not to mention this stuff. And as we're sitting there in the reveal saying, hey, we found all this fake stuff that you didn't tell us about, he was coming to the realization that he was thrown under the bus. And so that was his reaction during the review. If you watch it, you'll see it. And everyone wanted to kill the guy. And we're like, I was trying to make peace. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, he's a nice guy. He's just trying to keep his job. But yeah, it bothered me because, like, I thought it was fun. It was like a paranormal boot camp, like see what you can find, and it was all there, and it was very easy to fix and stuff. And but I was sad because if there's real paranormal activity there, they're hiding it behind these gags, and so you'll never see it. And we never got a chance to really experience it because we were too busy fixing the place.
All right. Well, I think that's hilarious that you're like fixing their haunted fake tree.
Yeah, I was up in the attic. They had this like pneumatic system to move the chandeliers. And I get up and I'm like, this is all broken. And I fixed it, tested it, it was working. And Jay fixed the face in the mirror and all that. And we fixed it so that when you open the bathroom door, it laughs. And just
That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. Well, that's another thing that, I think drew everyone to you guys is that, you guys are good sports and, you were just fun to watch. So that's,
we're good clothes.
Yeah. So we have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
We know that, and not all of them are paranormal, but we know that you love Star Wars.
Yes.
And you have been asked what your favorite Star Wars movie is.
Oh, what is my favorite? Geez, that's like, what's your favorite child? Well, okay. Well, let's do it this way. I don't like any of the prequels.
The one that causes the least amount of troubles.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. I don't like any of the prequels. No thanks. I don't like 1, 2, and 3. I pretend they don't exist. But of the original 3, Empire Strikes Back was my favorite. But of the new stuff, Rogue One is was fantastic and just brilliantly woven. But I love them all. Come on, except for the prequels. I don't.
Well, unfortunately, you're going to lose Becky on the Star Wars thing 'cause she's not a big fan of that.
Seen them all, but yeah, I know, and everyone I know is like huge into it, but that's not one of my big things.
So what's one of your passions when it comes to movies? Like, what kind of stuff do you like?
I am a huge Disney freak, so I like the Disney animated stuff.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, my wife and I have the DVC. I think we're going twice this year. I love that stuff. When I was a kid, I've been drawing ever since I could hold a pencil. And when I was a kid, I wanted so bad to work for Disney. I wanted to be an animator for them. And then I realized the amount of effort that goes in animation versus the amount of pay you get. And I was like, maybe not. Especially Disney, you have to be like a virtuoso. Like, you have to be able to do oil paintings and stuff if you want to be even an animator. Yeah, I turned into a kid there. I love Disney. My favorite animated Disney movie of all time, it's going to sound weird, but Pinocchio. I love that movie.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. What about you? Your favorite?
My favorite is Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. What do you think of the new one?
I loved the movie, actually. I loved that they gave more of a background to the storyline that the animated did.
Yeah, I love how we learned more about the sorceress, the woman that came. That was really neat. And her father.
Yeah, I loved, all of that. That was like, I couldn't wait to see that. But yeah, I'm a huge Disney fan. And, it's funny because I follow you on, Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And I remember there's been a couple times that you've gone to Disneyland and I miss you by like 1 week. And
no. Oh, wow.
Like, I always have to miss Grant. He's there and I'm there like after or before, one or the other.
Well,
Aren't you closer to Walt Disney World though?
Yeah, I actually like the Magic Kingdom at Disneyland better than the one at Disney World, but all this it's all going to change by 2021. It's all going to be radically different. So yeah, I mean, it's easier for us to get to Disney World just because there's more places to stay with the DVC than Disneyland only has one. Right. So it's hard to get in there. I mean, once my feet hit Disney soil, I just turn into a kid and I just love it no matter where I am. We were able to go to Disneyland Paris a couple years ago. That was wild, yeah.
Yeah, I've only been to Disney World once, and we usually go to Disneyland because the fact that we're in Arizona, it's just a drive, so it's not a big deal for us to go there. We actually went to Disneyland twice in 2017, so that was really cool.
Nice. Still not enough.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We're being asked if you like Halloween time at Disney. Have you been there at Halloween time?
I have. My wife's been to. She's got when her best friend lives in California, right near Disneyland, and so she went out there to visit her, and they were able to go to Halloween out there and see the Nightmare Before Christmas at the Haunted Mansion and all that. And, I've been to Disney World during Halloween, and it's tons of fun. But I guess they're gonna get the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay at Haunted Mansion there too. But yeah, I love it. Come on. How can you not?
It's Disney. It's fun.
It's so good. Favorite.
Okay, well, I could talk about Disney all the time, but we'll move on because there's
Same, I could too.
I can just talk to you for the rest of the night about Disney. I really could. But
Star Wars, so it all overlaps. It's all good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so now she's got to like it because it's all the same.
So I also know that you do the board games, the rather dashing board games.
Yes.
And we had a question about that, asking where do you get inspiration for creating a unique board games when there's already so many that exist out there?
Yeah, and that is the truth. Like, everyone's familiar with like Monopoly and Parcheesi, but you get past that, like you look outside of Target and Walmart and stuff, and holy moly, there are thousands of amazing games with beautiful artwork and brilliant mechanics and story. It really is a renaissance in the game world. I work intensely with my friend Mike Ritchie, who is a game designer and who's been doing it for over a decade, and he's very talented. So he usually comes up with a majority of the game. Like, he's the designer. He'll come to me with cut out pieces of paper and math and all this stuff. And my job is the developer and art director. So I have to take this and figure out what does it feel like we're actually doing and try to put a theme and a feel to it. He'll just have bits and stuff and maybe a hint of where it should go. And I have to say, okay, yeah, this is a game about dwarves or blowing up planets or whatever it is. And then I work with him closely, and we play it and refine it and beat it up and try to break it. And we do that. So our inspirations come, sometimes they're mechanic based. So we come up with a mechanic and go, this is new. This is neat. What does this feel like? What is the real world application for this? And sometimes it's the other way around. We're like, boy, it'd be cool to make a game about, like one of our games coming, it'd be cool to take the role-playing game experience of D&D and boil it down to a 30-minute, hour-long card game. And that's what we did, and that game's coming out in March. So, you can get inspired with that. And Mike's, he's like a maestro. He thinks the way about board games like I do about music. Like, I have a bunch of riffs in my head, and I can make songs out of them, or I mash them together and make songs. And that's what he does all the time. I mean, my wife was learning about essential oils, and we were talking about his ability to make games. I'm like, yeah, he could probably make a game about essential oils. And within an hour, he had a game going about it. It's like, geez, man, calm down. But it's tough. I mean, you have to really keep your finger on the pulse in the industry, and we're well known in the industry, and we know a lot of people in the industry, and you start coming up with an idea, and then you look at what's coming out and what the rumors you hear, and you're like, okay, well, we can't do that. We have to change it this way. And fortunately, the world of hobby games is very open-minded, so you can come up with the craziest. Like, there's a game called Exploding Kittens, or there's another game called it's like there's a game about anything and everything, and the kind of kookier it is, the more they are excited about it. So whatever.
Right. I don't know though. Some of those games might be scary.
Yeah, some of them are really messed up, But we give a lot of advice to other game designers and other companies in the industry. They like to put stuff in front of us because Mike and I are very good at breaking games or finding the perfect situation for it. Like, one game came to us, and it was one person, put a game in front of us, and the concept was very controversial. It was about like trading slaves and stuff, and we're like, what is going on? And so we had him change it to like a Spice Road kind of thing, like trading goods instead of people, and it's like, it's weird.
We're being asked if any of the games that you're creating will ever be available online.
Oh, they're all available online. Yep. You can go to Amazon and get any of our games. You can we prefer you go to, if you have a local game store. If you buy our game through them, it helps us and them. It helps the whole industry. But hey, if it's more convenient to get it on Amazon, save a few bucks, that's fine. But you can also get them directly through our website, rather-games.com. Yeah.
Well, there's another question also, and I guess it's will they be moving to online multiplayer?
Online multiplayer?
Yeah.
No plans of that yet. Our multiplayer is around the table. That's the kind of way we like it. But there is something called oh my gosh, brain fart. There's a website that we're looking at joining, and they basically are very good at making a virtual experience of a real tabletop game. So you can sit around with your friends around the world and actually play this game, and it lets you like play with the cards and roll the dice and Tabletopia is what it's called. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning earlier about your music. How long have you been playing the piano?
I taught myself when I was 14. I was just listening to the radio one night, and there was this beautiful piano song that came on, and this was kind of pre-internet, or it was basically Prodigy internet, maybe. Like, it was really rough. And so I called the radio station, and we couldn't figure out what it was and who it was by, and I just wanted to hear it again. So I was so frustrated, I went down to my family piano there and started plunking it out, trying to figure it out. And I realized I could play by ear pretty well. And so I was like, oh, wow, that song was just that beautiful, and it only took me doing this. And so I immediately started just writing my own stuff. And by the time I was 15, I had, 10, 11 tracks ready for an album, but I didn't have the ability to make one. And then life took off. I went to college, and I lived in Italy for a couple of years doing service, and then I got married and had kids, and then the show came, and so I was finally able, and technology grew with me. I was finally able to make some albums of it, and I was nervous as heck to share them, but the feedback has been phenomenal. Again, people are telling me, hey, we just got married and walked down the aisle to your music, and people telling me that, hey, my child who has anxiety, who won't fall asleep, will only fall asleep if he listens to your music, or, my dad passed away and your music helped me through that, or my dad passed away and this helped him cope with it. It's just like crazy stuff that I could never imagine. I expected people to say like, oh, that's pretty, Holy cow. So that's cool because it's reciprocal. I help them, and their stories drive me to make more. I still like it, yeah.
Very cool. Now, I also heard that, and hopefully this rumor is true, that you have some novels coming out soon?
Well, I worked with my friend Mike, and we started writing a series, a three-book series that's in the steampunk genre, but gentle steampunk. I don't know if people know what that is. It's like Victorian times, with a lot of paranormal stuff happening and clockwork. Imagine like the gasoline engine was never invented, and everything's clockwork and steam powered. But a lot of that type of novel is very heavy into that. We backed way off, so it's very approachable, and it's just tons of fun. It's very adventurous and crazy. And so we're still working on that. In fact, we're trying to get it prepared, for maybe a bigger media, like TV or an anime or something like that. I think it's big. It'll be better presented than in a book. But I'm also working on a big brain dump of all my thoughts about the paranormal and everything weird and how it all connects. And that's a tough one to write because it's like, where do you start? So I just kind of step up as I have it and keeping it organized as possible. And so we'll see. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. No, you do have a couple books out there that deal with the paranormal already, though.
Yes. I've written 6 books with Jay and a couple other authors that helped us out because, we had the ideas, but we don't really have the savvy to be super writers. Yeah, we have 2 that they've since combined into one book because that's what people wanted. But there are 2 books that deal with cases from our past. The first book is cases from our past mixed with some from the show, so you get a little bit more information. And there's a kind of a little primer for how to investigate. And then the second book in that series is more of the oddball cases we have, like doppelgangers and people being haunted by their own residual haunting and things like that. And then we have 2 that are fiction, totally made up based on a culmination of real events, and then obviously exaggerated because it's a story, it's fiction. Right. And then there are 2 that were written for tweens. We worked with R.L. Stein's wife, and I got to hang out with him a lot and learn from him. And he's a cool guy. and those were designed for tweens, but everyone really loves them. They're cooler. They're kind of like the first two I talked about, except for the fact that we dramatize these cases to include you as if you were with us on this case. So we took real cases and just kind of pretended like you were there with us at the time and wrote how it was from your point of view. But what's really cool about the fact that they're real cases is that all the evidence you find on those cases, we had uploaded to a website. I'm not sure if it's there or not still. It probably is. So you read about this case and about this picture you took, and you can go online and look at that picture or listen to the EVP that was mentioned in the book. So fun stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Any advice for anyone like myself that's writing their first book?
Find people you trust that would be brutally honest to read it through for you. And obviously get a copy editor. No matter how many times you read it, you're going to miss the grammatical stuff. But like I said, people who aren't going to read it and go, that was good, you did a good job, when it needs work. You want to produce something that you can be proud of and that will allow you to make another one. If all your friends are afraid of hurting your feelings, and then the book's not as good as it can be, and that's not what you want. So you have to have people who understand that and who are willing to say that. And honestly, take breaks. And it's the world of self-publishing, it's kind of a pain to publish an ebook, but it's worth it. I mean, working with a lot of publishers can be tough. But if you have an ebook and it becomes very successful, you can be published also, but retain your ebook rights. And so I'm
actually already under contract with the publisher.
Oh, okay.
I actually have a year to write this book, but I know my paranormal team, Tucson Ghost Society, is listening to this. So you all heard Grant. You have to be honest with me when you read the book.
Yeah, I mean, be diplomatic, but be honest.
Yeah, they don't want to get in trouble.
But if they care about you, they should be able to,
Right.
just be open about it. Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, I know my husband will be.
Yeah, I will be very honest.
There you go. That's what it's for.
So I know we got a couple questions in the chat room that I kind of missed, so we'll go back real quick. I think one of them was asking what was one of your favorite places to investigate through the years.
So, my whole kind of history in this field has been getting into people's homes and helping families, quietly, indiscreetly helping these people over the course of months to resolve their issues and bring comfort to them. That's my favorite. My favorite are every time people ask me that, I know I give a disappointing answer, but it's always the residential places. I love the impact there. If I go to a place of employment, I still make an impact, but those people can go home at night. You don't live there. The show did a lot of stuff like Alcatraz and Waverly Hills and things, which are amazing places. And I'm grateful for having been there, but the need for help was very low. And I know that, like, the reason we would do those things was because they were familiar places to the fans of the show, and it was a safe bet. Like, let's fly and move all, Steve's driving and the crew's driving. Let's move all that to California to check out these 2 or 3 homes, and we don't know what's going to happen. So let's back that up by securing Alcatraz, So it's a safety net. And it worked out because that allowed, I think, it kind of opened the doors for the ghost hunter types rather than paranormal investigator types. It opened those doors and people can get into these places like Waverly Hills and it's beneficial for those businesses to allow that. And it worked out great. Yeah. But as far as those places that are accessible to most people, Waverly Hills is fantastic. St. Augustine Lighthouse, Stanley Hotel. There are just too many. They're all, and the people are wonderful. Yeah.
And the closest, I know you've been out to Arizona, but you've only been to what, Tombstone and Bisbee. Yeah, you haven't been to actual Tucson, have you?
Not on the show. I've been there on my own, but yeah, the show went to Tombstone and Bisbee, Copper Queen. That was cool.
Yeah, we actually stayed at the Copper Queen in Julia's room. So that was an interesting night when we stayed there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Will had his feet played with.
Ha!
And he's very ticklish, so.
I'm going to write that down. Yeah, for me, that was a very frustrating situation because, the evidence showed stuff happening to my feet there, and I do not, I don't sleep that way, and I was completely unconscious. And Jay's like, I don't know, this and this and this. I'm like, you might as well not consult me. I technically wasn't even there. I was unconscious. I was done. But it was a cool experience that I didn't know I had. It's weird.
Right. Yeah. Will definitely knew that his feet got tickled because he jumped. We had our sheets pulled on, so you could actually feel the sheets being pulled, and we actually felt someone sit down on the bed next to us too. So we actually had a very active night.
Great. That validates my experience. Appreciate it.
We actually took some flowers for Julia. So we were trying to be nice and bring her out for the evening. So we took a dozen red roses.
Nice.
And told Julia that she could enjoy the roses. So maybe that's why she was active. Who knows? But it worked.
Maybe she pressured her into tickling your feet. Maybe she felt she owed you something. I don't know.
I definitely do not recommend having a REM pod going and trying to go to sleep with that, though.
Oh, no, never.
Because every time we tried to fall asleep, that thing would go off.
Yeah, we didn't get much sleep that night because we left the equipment on to try to document things. And yeah, we kept waking up. Oh, I am being told that I need to tell you about the hotel that we had to ourselves. I'm not sure if you guys, have you ever been to the St. James Hotel in Cimarron, New Mexico?
No.
Will and I went there in December, and we were actually the only guest booked in the entire hotel for the night. So we ended up with the entire hotel to ourselves to investigate.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was so much fun. We didn't get a ton of activity, but we did get some, and it was a lot of fun being the only people in there because we knew it wasn't someone contaminated the evidence.
Yeah, right. You got that validation that there's no one else in there.
Right. So,
Awesome.
Okay, what other questions have we missed, Will? You're supposed to be keeping up on the questions with me. Well, I know there's this one while I look for that one.
Let's get this one out of the way.
Yeah.
If someone is going through personal stuff, stress, depression, do you believe that can cause a spirit to manifest? That energy can be strong enough for a person to subconsciously conjure up?
That was a huge question.
That was.
Well, there are different sides to that question. Okay, so people can become so depressed that they have there's not anything real there, but they can summon help inside their own mind. Does that make sense?
Actually, I get that.
And the other side of it is that it's one of the things I'm studying, trying to find some more answers because I have some theories on it. But I've dealt with inhuman stuff, and I've dealt with possession and things like that many, many, many times. And to me, it follows the same trends like perfectly. And so when people think they're being possessed and stuff, I can run them through this and I can fix it like that if they're willing to fix it. And what I'm getting at is there are certain things that happen every single time. And it always starts with obsession and depression. So if someone is depressed and obsessed, what happens is, I think that the early stages of what I call the path of possession, which I'm not trying to scare anybody here, it's very easy to handle if you know what you're doing. You don't have to do all this pomp and circumstance that a lot of churches do. I mean, it's very easy to handle. But what I'm trying to figure out is, at what stage does the paranormal side kick in? How much is in our mind and is something we're controlling, and then when does the paranormal actually come in, if it comes in at all? When people get depressed, there's something that happens, and they tend to obsess over something. And usually the form of depression is because something's wrong sometimes, like there could be abuse or neglect or drugs or whatever, or alcoholism and things like that. I'm just generalizing, but they can be more in depth than that. And so when they get depressed, they start, like I said, they obsess, and then things start to fall apart. And what can happen at times is they start to hear these voices in their head, which is what I'm talking about. And to them, they're quite literal voices. And a lot of times, because people are sad and depressed and they hear these voices, if they get help, they are labeled as schizophrenic. Okay? And I don't want to get too deep into this, but that can lead to them becoming addicted to the fact that they're schizophrenic and believing it themselves because they're getting attention. But anyway, to back it up, people hear these voices, and the voices are very, they think that one of the things it can be is paranormal. And so they start to obsess over, why am I hearing these voices? Who are they? Is this my dead Uncle Fred? Is this whoever, And they start to lose sleep, and they start to cut themselves off from the world, and so on and so forth. And it spirals down into them completely severing themselves from society and then letting something take them over. It's much more complicated than that, but it is a simple in its consistency. And maybe I'm giving too big of an answer there, but
so what I'm getting from, if I'm understanding you right, so a lot of it is made up in their head due to whatever's been causing their issues.
Right. There is evidence of depression causing voices and causing things that could be confused as paranormal activity. And the weaker you are, the weaker your willpower is and all that stuff, the more susceptible you are to these negative things coming into your life. So yes, things can come out of it, but maybe not in the way the question was asking. It's not like you're going to be depressed and summon your uncle to come down and cheer you up or anything like that, or summon a demon. I mean, if you stay on that path long enough, yeah, you'll become attractive to those things. And I don't like the word demon. I only use it jokingly. I think it empowers them too much. I like negative. That will show up if you go down that path long enough, because based on the trends I've seen and my experiences, they're not interested in healthy, happy, socially active people. It's too hard for them to get that person. So they find people who have a weakness, or something's wrong, or they're addicted or obsessed and depressed. And like a lion chasing a gazelle, they want to take the sick and the weak,
All right.
Maybe I'm going too far. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Just got into Discovery Channel.
No, I mean, people, want to know, and they were curious. So,
Well, that's one of my observations from the show, Ghost Hunters, is that all you're watching us really do is a preliminary investigation. We go in, we figure out what's going on, we sum it up, and normally we would come back with a specialized team designed for that exact location and stay there for months on end, which is something I'm able to do now that I'm not on TV anymore.
Right.
And something we did before TV. And so something that's bothered me the whole time with the show is that people watch it and think they got their head wrapped around the paranormal field. And that's scary if you want to be a paranormal investigator. And so, there's so much more to it than you could ever learn from any paranormal show.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had to walk out on a case because of the fact that it was just mental health issues that were causing it, and you couldn't stay because it wasn't your?
We've had many cases where the clients were very unstable, but you have to be careful as a paranormal investigator. You have to have very distinct things you can do and say, because if you recommend help or a remedy for a situation and they do it and hurt themselves, that's on you. So legally, you really have to watch it. If someone's coming across and suicidal, okay, you direct them to the suicidal hotline and police and people who can help, and you walk away.
Right.
Cannot get involved. Things like that, yeah. But we had a case, it's a tragic case. We had a woman call us in and all hell was breaking loose at her house. And she's talking to us about how her husband got attacked as he was walking to the kitchen and stuff. And we finally got the husband there. He was kind of distant the whole time. He didn't buy it all. And we told him, I said, hey man, what's up with you getting attacked? Can you tell me what happened? He's like, what do you mean attacked? I don't know what you're talking about. And so we told him what his wife told us. And he was like, oh my gosh, I was walking through the kitchen and I thought something touched my shoulder. But fair enough. She had been in some accidents. She had some pain issues, and so she had a laundry list of painkillers she was on. The first of which was 10 oxycodone a day.
Oh wow.
So she was in low Earth orbit, she was flying high, and the stuff was crazy. She would just say the craziest things and snap and all that stuff. And we found actually loaded guns in her house. We had to have those removed. We were sitting there and talking to her, and she's like, I just don't know what to do about this paranormal anymore. I can't handle it in my life. I need it gone. I need clarity. I need to get back to reality. And we're like, fine, we can do that. We know people who can help, but we have to have your full cooperation, or these things won't go away. And then she looks at us and goes, well, you can't take it away. I need it. It's like, holy cow. Within 30 seconds, she totally flip-flopped on a conversation. But the sad thing is that she a few months later, when we finally just said we can't help this lady anymore, she invited what was left of her family over for a cookout and then blew off her head in front of them.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the stuff you don't see. You know what I mean? It's like you're entering strangers' homes. You got to be careful.
Right. Yeah, that is something that we really have to be aware of. Well, I know we only got about 5 minutes left, Grant, and I want you to be able to tell everyone all the events you got coming up and where they can find that information on and everything.
Okay. Yeah. So there is a lot going on this year and a lot that just got announced. The best place to see me specifically is on my Facebook page. I've got the little blue check mark, so you know it's me. And you can go there, and there's an event tab or whatever, and you can see everything I'm doing there. You can go. I go to centerstageevents.com, and they have a lot of good events that are more than just me, and strange-escapes.com. I've got an event coming up that I'm super excited about that we talked about earlier in February at the USS North Carolina battleship. Like I said, very small crowd. We have full access to the ship. It's going to be fantastic. In March, I'm doing a fundraising event for my favorite charity, the Lost Limbs Foundation. Mike Couch, if anybody has ever met them, they're the nicest people on the planet. Mike's lost his lower right leg, and he started a charity to help kids, families afford the prosthetics for children. And, I think back when I was a kid, and the first thing I probably read was, See Dick Run, and these kids can't even run, and think about how often you have to change a kid's shoes,
Right.
how fast they grow. And these oh man, brain fart. These prosthetics, sorry, these prosthetics, they have to be fitted. And so it gets very expensive. So it's a great charity that does real work. Then let's see, I've got Salem Con in Salem, Massachusetts in April. And that's going to be a good time. I've got Dead X Convention, which is coming in May, and that's going to be a huge paranormal crazy convention. And I think that's in Florida. Let's see. I've got the Ghost Hunt Weekends event in June, so on and so forth. There's the big cruise Amy just announced in June, which is a blast. It's like 9 days. We all hang out together on a cruise, and we do lectures at sea, and it's wonderful. If you're going to do a cruise, that's the one to do it. It's not much more, to include all that fun stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
And then
so-
Fort Mifflin in August, and blah, blah, blah.
Right. Yeah, very fun year coming up, apparently.
Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Oh, great. Well, I have to thank you so much. I know we had some difficulties at the beginning of the show, but I
My
am
fault.
so glad we finally got a hold of you.
Yes, me too. That would have been rough, but
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And you know what? Let's do it again to make up for that lost time.
Oh, I would completely adore that, and I would love that. And hopefully we will have Dave on the show next time, too.
That would be great.
Yeah, so you can actually talk to Dave. And but we need to also get you out here to Arizona, so we'll work on that, too. We'll try to come up with some type of event out here in Tucson.
There you go. Yeah, and just contact Lindsay, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Grant. We really appreciate your time. We know that you're busy.
No, likewise. I appreciate you spending the time and having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful night.
You too. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Well, everyone, that was Grant Wilson. That was so exciting for me. Yay. We are so sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning of the show. I don't even know if I have Dave on speakerphone anymore. He decided not to talk because he could barely hear. Oh, Dave is there. Woohoo, Dave. Well, Dave, we'll get Grant back hopefully again, and you can actually talk to him. You probably wouldn't have gotten a word in edgewise with me anyway.
I know that it was better this way, at least for now. I know that Grant was dying to talk to me. I could just feel it, but it's okay.
So everyone should go to our YouTube at Tucson Ghost Company to see the new YouTube video for Slaughterhouse here soon, right?
Yeah, I just uploaded them. I'm waiting for it to show up. I may have to re-upload it if it doesn't show up in a minute. I'm mad at YouTube now. I was mad at Skype earlier. Now I'm mad at YouTube.
Right. Well, there you go. You can be mad all around.
I'm mad at everybody today, man. I don't know.
But
Yeah, it's weird. It just didn't show up. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
yeah, so Slaughterhouse YouTube video will be up soon. Check out the website for Slaughterhouse news about being able to ghost hunt there. That's really exciting, getting to work with them. We will be back next week with, I believe, Jeff and Todd. I can't remember their last names right now, but they're going to be in Eureka, Nevada with myself and Will up at that Paracon. And other than that, I guess we'll just see everyone back here next week, hopefully without any issues like today. Thank you for bearing with us tonight. Thank you again, Grant Wilson. And until next week, just remember, you are never truly alone. Good night, everyone.
Never.